Everyone, and welcome. Good morning, good evening, good night, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome back to my channel, PL Stewart, the John Cube Saga. Had 6 month interviews. I apologize for the lighting, power failure about the country where I live, and very prone to storms and power failure. So power's knocked out. Probably not getting restored till later tonight. So I have to improvise here, but very much worth it because I have a fabulous guest, right? Someone I admire so much and respect so much, someone who's so beloved in the community, one of the best, absolute best reviewers out there in our corner of the space, and just an all-around fantastic gent. We're going to learn more about him. He does so much. We're also grateful for him, but I am grateful for him joining me tonight. The awesome Michael DELANEY, WOLFMANTULA. Give it up. Welcome, sir.
I'm just kidding. It's great to be here, man. It's great to be here.
Well, thank you so much for coming, man. I'm absolutely honored. I've been looking forward to this all week. So I thank you for doing this. Now, I know that, you're a modest guy, but bro, man, a lot of props to you in the space. People love you, man. You do so much. I want to ask you, though, kind of a bit off track from talking about fantasy and sci-fi and horror reviewing. You also do a lot of stuff in fantasy sports. Can you tell us about that? What you do there in that?
So that was more or less like my first love of getting into everything, and from there, I grew up in it, and then around maybe 15, I really sent into like the NFL draft and stuff, and it just kind of blossomed into this thing where I realized that other people did these mock drafts, and this is so cool, like trying to predict all this stuff. And like the more I got into it, the more I searched it and realized that there were more things to teams than just going, oh yeah, hey, that's a position need, go for it. I started realizing that certain teams did certain things or didn't do certain things, and it really started just kind of helping me realize that, man, I can actually predict. I can cut out a lot of players that I know they're not going to go for, and just I can narrow it down and go, well, this is probably what they're going to go for. And so over the last couple of years, I really started focusing in on, and that was about the time when I started the book reviews. Also, is just everything just kind of came all in at one time, and I like my blog when I first started it. It was for mock drafts and for blogs. And then when I joined the Huddle Report, they asked me to just make my blog only for the book blog. And I was like, hey, not a problem. Like, everything will go on y'all's site. Not a problem. And that actually was really cool because they're a fairly big site. They're the ones that everyone kind of uses for accuracy. They look to find who is accurate and go, okay, well, I'll just follow that person now because they do really well. And so I submitted a mock draft to them, and I asked if I could be part of getting graded. And after they looked over some of my past stuff, why don't you just join our team? And I was like, wow, okay. I would love that. Like I thought I was just going to go in and just submit by myself. And then once sudden it was this thing of being with them, I was like, dude, that's an honor. That's something that I was expecting. And so from there, man, it's just to some of the little things that I've done for their website. I've made new little logos for them just to kind of spice it up in early 2000s to now. So I've helped them in a lot of different ways. So it's been really cool to not only be part of the book community, but also be a little bit of that. Now, that is a lot more toxic. So I try not to spend too much time talking to that community, just because you could say something and everyone's all just going to jump on you and be like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. That's stupid. No, it's never going to happen. I was like, whatever. I'll just put myself out. If someone likes what I say, then I'll talk to them. But if they're going to disagree and try to argue, I'm like, I'm 40 years old, man. I don't care. I'm not going to argue with you. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Whatever.
I hear you.
It's been a really cool ride And then, at the same time, I was doing book reviews, and that has been the better journey for me, just because it knew that caught me out of nowhere. It was mainly because of Game of Thrones. We were waiting on the final season that doesn't exist for that season, and I just wanted to finally get into something, and I was like, I gotta read something. Like, I want to read something. I don't want to read that because I'm watching that. So I just want to read something, and I found King's Isle by Nicholas Eames, and that's what broke me into reading. Like, that was before then. I had read like two, and neither one of them were fantasy, and so I was like, I'd always been a fan, just never really cared about reading it, and it finally hit me one day, and like from that moment, I've been like on this trajectory of just reading as much as I can. So like that first year, I think I read maybe 2 or 3 books, but not for me, considering I had only read 2 books on my own. Like in school, like I had to read stuff, but on my own time, like only 2 books. And from there, I went from like 3 to like 16, and then from there it was like 70 the next year. And it was mainly because I discovered smaller books. They were like 2 pages, or just enough to be a novel and not a novella or anything. So big enough to where maybe 300 pages at the most. And so I was kind of churning through those, and that was the Jeff Wheeler series.
Oh yeah.
So I went through every single one of his books, and that was probably 30 of the books I read in 1 year. It is. Wow.
That's crazy.
But that's, I mean, really, that from that moment, I was on Twitter for a while, but it was I'd seen Nicholas Eames just reposting books all the time. And I was like, that's weird that he's like posting other people's, like, why is he sharing other people's content? Like, and then I realized it's like, it's a community of people, like, not trying to just sell his, he's wanting everyone to read books, even if it's not his. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool. So I started finding more books, and then I started finding reviewers. And because the one that everyone knows is Patrick, and when you get on Goodreads, he's always at the top.
Yeah.
So you always find him. So he was the first one that I really paid attention to. But it was Lord TBR, David Walters, was the one who really kind of showed me, or not physically show me, but just from following him and everything that he was doing and showing all these different books is when I started really do more independent authors and realizing that there was a lot. And that was where I found Ryan Cahill. Was just him retweeting the original 50 books, the original number to 50. And that was at a time where Ryan was struggling to get those 50 out.
Yeah. And
I just happened to see it, and I'd never read it before. I saw the cover, and I was like, that's kind of a cool cover. Like, I like the line of it. Like, it looks cool. I was like, you know what? I'll go ahead and do it. So I bought it and then read it, and I was like, dude, this is really good. Like, I like this. And then I just have to be really good friends, because like we started talking about how his books, they're very, like, I mean, they're kind of all over the place, but he has a lot of Greek-Roman, of that Greco-Roman kind of theme in his books. And I started knowing some of it with like the emoji in book 1. He's got that in there. And I pointed that out. I was like, dude, that's the emoji from 300. And he was like, yeah. And then, once we got to book 2, I started noticing some other stuff that was in there. And I was like, did you secretly just slide that in? He goes, yep. I was like, all right, okay. Hey, I saw that. So that's where we really became like pretty good friends, talking all the time. And like, I just ended up just in a perfect spot of both of us were at the beginning of what we were doing, and both kind of sprouted with each other in a way. I mean, he sprouted a lot more, but we both kind of rode that road in a little trajectory. And I got to watch him from trying to get those first 50 out to 1,000 going out in minutes.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. Like I've been enjoying my time within the community.
Yeah, it's an amazing, amazing community. And speaking of that, I want to give a quick shout out to the awesome Cena Paul. Cena, how's it going? You want to know about audiobooks? That's your audiobook expert right there. You know, there's always people in the community who have their niche and their area of expertise, and for Cena, definitely audiobooks. That's the person you check out. She's also got a YouTube channel. Check out her channel. She's fantastic with what she does there. And on Twitter in our space, when you see her audiobook recs, pay attention. So thanks for coming.
I'm pretty big on books myself. Like I like doing the whispersync to where I can read and listen at the same time, just because I try to do the straight audio. I can't focus on it. So when I can glance every once in a while and see something there, okay, that's what they were talking about. I'm like, okay, like I can now. But for some reason, just straight audio can't do it. Physically read, but majority of the time, it's typically doing that. But yeah, audiobooks are my thing too.
What is it about, science fiction, fantasy horror? What is it for you? What was the attraction? So you got into the fantasy sports to start with. I'm a big fantasy sports guy. I love it. I kind of I've really cut back on how many teams I'm involved with now. It's very, very small now. Mostly through work, I just do football and baseball just because I don't have the time. But back in the day, it's really evolved from that rotisserie stuff into this, incredibles, worldwide phenomena. So, what about fantasy and horror and sci-fi for you? What made you get into that?
So, the fantasy sports thing, like I didn't actually get into it until about maybe years ago. Before then, like I was on the sideline and like I just watched other people do it, and I just enjoyed football. Yeah. And some friends of mine finally they were like, "Dude, like you would be pretty good. Like why don't you join us?" First year, I had no clue what I was doing. So drafting a quarterback in round 1, and then my favorite running back, and all of a sudden I'd win like 3 games, and I'm like what is going on here? Like I thought this would be a lot more fun, and then I started. I started doing some. I was like, oh, okay, this is what I need to do. I'm like, okay. So I've got myself a little pattern. I was like, okay, so I'm going to follow this. Like I got these guys, they're not here. Don't want to touch them. Like I started doing all that. And then like now I got 3 rings from winning championships. I haven't won in like years, but like I got 3 rings.
Competitive. Yeah. Congrats. Competitive league sounds like.
And then the year before. But the last year I won, we actually had a trophy, and I got to hold it for a few months before, because I think we got it like right before the season started. So I got to hold it during the season. And then, of course, I lost in the championship, so I had to give it to someone else. And then since then, I think last year I didn't make the championship. I made the playoffs, but I didn't make the championship. Yeah, I'm in like 3 leagues. I try not to go more than that just because it puts me out just a little too much. Yeah. And I don't like to spread myself out because then I get my anxiety flares up, and then I'm just like, I just give up and just like, that's just too much. Like 1 league is done. So I've learned 3 is my max. I could do 2, but 1 league I got with some bookmates, and it's a free league. So that one I was like, you know what? It's a free league. I'm not really worried about it. I'm gonna be competitive. I want to beat y'all, but it's very relaxed, and I'm not near as like anxiety about trying to win, since the other leagues are a little bit more money.
I hear you. So we know you're into that. So what is it about fantasy, sci-fi, and horror that's become this nice complement to all your fantasy sports stuff?
Man, I don't know. I really tell you why. I mean, I've always been a fan of watching it, but I just never, like I said, I just never cared about reading it until like 2016 or 17, whenever that was. I think it was 2016. So nearly 10 years ago. But when I grew up, I was from the country. Like we stayed all day long, you know. Like I didn't even have tea until I was probably close to being a teenager. So it really wasn't. I mean, it's basically just living outside. So it wasn't really that I cared about doing. It was being active, playing sports, like just being an athlete, and that's the brand of my family. That's what I knew. And it wasn't until later in life where I actually realized that I actually enjoyed it. And he just happened to be the one that was right there. Like I've been kind of trying to branch myself out on it the last couple of years. I've read a lot more historical fiction, which I love history anyway. That's been one of the things that I wanted to branch into. And here recently, I've been looking up some books that are kind of like Dan Simmons with his Da Vinci Code stuff. I've been kind of looking into a little bit more of that archaeological thriller type stuff, just because it's another thing about history. Like I want to read those weird books that are, the pyramid ended up, being something to do with aliens. So, like, watching too much Ancient Aliens here lately.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, well, Library Legs, thanks for coming out. I say we need a fantasy sports horror book matchup. So that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
That would be good.
That'd be awesome. So I mean, on top of all that, you getting into reviewing, and you've also started a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I've been a little YouTube channel, just because personal things going on. But the review, a large part of it was due to Patrick, just read stuff. But it wasn't really something that I would put a rating, and then sometimes I would put like maybe a 30-word paragraph on there. Like, and I was like, that was me attempting to at least put something there. But it wasn't until David he made a post about making your own blog, and he had made a post about joining his site, Fanfi Addict. And that was before it was really massive. This was nearly 10 years because I started reviewing, I think, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So it was early on. I messaged him and I was like, man, I'm interested in joining, but I don't think I'm ready. It's like I'm just now starting to try to learn this, like, because I never had to review things before. So now I really learn the day to do. And so I was like, but keep me in mind in the future. And then about a month later, he made a post about making your own website, the do's and don'ts, what he did wrong, what you should do right. And I saved it. And about 2 months later, I went back to it and I was like, okay, I feel comfortable, because within 2 months, it doesn't sound like much, but at the time, like I was cranking out 5-6 books a month. So that was 10 to 11 books that I left reviews for. And so I was like, okay, I feel like I have done enough books and book reviews. I'm going to go out on my own and do it on my own and see if I like it. If I don't, I know that he's willing to join him. And then I love doing it. I love the fact I could build my own site, make my own little logo, and then just all of a sudden, like, just start putting everything out. And I just got so excited about people actually being able to see my reviews rather than just going to Goodreads to look at, and then, look, there's someone way down here at the very bottom. Yeah. Like, now I got a site where they can go and see some of the reviews, and that really just kind of made me go, like, I want to put out reviews. Like, I didn't care if someone didn't give me a book. I was like, I've got a bunch of book TBR and I want to read these books. Yes. And I'm going to go out. And that was what I did. Like, I didn't get anyone to give me a book to read. Man, probably 5 or 6 months until into reviewing books or on my website. So it wasn't anything that I was trying to get free books from anyone. It was just out out of nowhere, I found a love, and I wanted to start sharing my reviews with everybody, and I wanted them to see them. And I'm gonna do it on my page. And then I ended up just becoming really good friends with David Walters and David Schaefer, who was Book Meanderings. Like he's not very. He got married. But like befriending them, and now like I'm basically like a sister page or a brother page, and like they have me on other people to look for. So like even though I'm not there, on their page, like I'm part of their little group. So it's nice to have them, always talking to them, especially David. I used to talk with David Schaefer all the time, but now he's gone. He was the one that really kind of got me into being friends with a lot of other reviewers, and especially David Walters. So I do miss talking to him, but David, he's a great dude too. Like he is very cool, and he's very willing to help people. Like he's a good guy. Like I love him to death. Like if it wasn't for them and Ryan, but mainly them, like if for them, like I don't think I would be anywhere close to where I am right now without their help in the beginning.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I can never say you're one of the most popular reviewers in the space that I hang out in.
Well, I appreciate. I appreciate.
It's funny. Library says I suck at writing reviews. I don't believe that, Library Legs. But what? Sorry, go ahead.
It's you have to do is look something up, or say look up Petrick and see what he writes. Look up someone else and see what they write, and all of a sudden you go, okay, so these are some of the with me, like I take a bunch of notes. Obviously, you've seen them.
Oh yeah,
and like I take like literal notes of everything that's happening, and then I take notes of just things that I know I'm going to be putting in my review. So I'll put that I have two separate little things, and so in the beginning, what I did was I looked at other people's reviews, see how they built their reviews, and was like, okay, I've got some of the same stuff that they're talking about, and they put it in this stuff and this stuff together. And so that's where I started learning of piecing certain things in certain spots. Don't be a dick is one I learned real early. It's just you be rude when you review something. Just you can be nice and still get the same thing out. And so that was one of the learners, just looking at what other people said and how they say it. And you could really just kind of learn your pathway into writing your own. And there are people that have posted their own like whole list of certain things that they look for in a book, and that's what they hit on. And like I don't know if you can see this. I'll show it in my my post here. So this is a review sample. At the bottom, this is everything, like what people look for. This one person, he made this list. I forgot who it was, but it was all these. Oh, it's going the wrong way. But all those little things, just certain things that they look for. And I was like, okay, so I can hit on these little things and build on them with all the notes that I've got. And so that's kind of where I really started piecing things together. And then I know it's kind of a no-no, but I have used, and because I'm not making money off of it, so I use Grok to fix run-on sentences or where I didn't put a comma, and it's kind of helped me really build and go, okay, yeah, I don't let it write my reviews. It's like I write my review and then I'm like, okay, so I need a comment. I said the same thing here that I said right here, so I can remove. Like, so I've learned by using that also just remove some of the stuff that I've had because it didn't matter. And periods, commas. Sometimes I don't use enough commas. I might have a sentence that's like 40 words long, and it's like, hey, you need like 3 commas in here, dude. I'm like, my bad.
That's awesome. Like says, I'm going to try to do short videos of everything I read. Yeah, you know what? I like the option of, I don't do many video reviews. I'm not sure how you feel about that, Michael, but I do like the option of doing it once in a while, and once in a while I do. I'm much better, I think, with the written word than I am. I'm not as strong with video reviews, but I do them from time to time. And I know they don't get a lot of traction on YouTube, but I still like doing them anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah, my brain does this. It's hard for me to do reviews unless I make multiple videos because I've got so many notes and so much stuff in my head that I'll sit here and talk about it. I'm like, oh man, I didn't even talk about that. All right, I need to re-record it now, and just like it's a chore sometimes.
Yeah,
and so it's better for me to have it written down. I would love to do it live, but if I did a video, I'd just be reading off what I wrote.
I hear you.
So I know I didn't miss anything.
And I love, some people are so excellent at just spontaneously just spitting out, those reviews. So many tubers that we know on there that are so good at that. Oh, and Library looks so kind of you, Review Junkin. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. But yeah, I think there is a craft. It's a different skill set to doing a really good video review than to doing a written review. I think it is a different skill set, just like being a YouTuber, period, a booktuber is different from being a written reviewer as well, right? So, yeah, it's a different skill set.
Horseback.
The bird horseback. That's awesome. That is awesome. So you mentioned, Michael, some of the reviewers that kind of you look up to, Lord TBR and Patrick Leo got you really, really into it, etc. So are there certain reviewers, either written or booktubers, that are kind of like must watch, or when they put something out, or of certain books you see, they do reviews, so you gotta track that or check them out now that you've been doing it for a while?
To be honest, I mean, I have my notifications turned on for Mike, for Mike's book reviews.
Yeah.
I have it turned on for Patrick, and I have it turned on for David Walters, Lord TBR. Like, I pay attention to a lot of other people also, just what other people are posting. Those are the three main ones that I really pay attention to, just because, like, when people want to do cover reveals, they typically go to Mike, or not really Mike, but they usually go to Patrick and David. So those are the two that I really pay attention to, just because they're the ones that be posting the new covers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, nice cover. Like, we're probably going to add that one. And so that's kind of what I do. At this point, I don't look at too many reviews anymore, just because I don't want to be spoiled in a way. Yeah. Like, I want, even though like majority of people I follow, they don't kind of spoilers, but there's a part of kind of like that, and that's one thing that I try to do with my reviews is to leave like just a few breadcrumbs. Yeah. Like, I don't want to leave anything that's going to make them go, oh man, like, I don't want none of that. I'll read that review and just be kind of like, he didn't really say much about the book other than like, just like he liked it. He liked this part, and like, so I need to go in there and find out what he's talking about. Yeah. Like, so that's what I try to do. I Patrick, and he doesn't do. He's not really spoilery, but his very intricate.
Yes.
And so at times you can give a little bit away. And so, as I like to read his stuff, I do try to stay away from it now, just because some of the stuff I want to find out on my own. So, to answer, Library of a Viking.
Another really popular booktuber.
I would say, and maybe, I mean, those three plus Library of a Viking, Bo Kelly.
Yeah.
That they might be the only we like pay attention to whenever they put a review, especially if like they come out and say that they like 5-star something. I'm like, all right, let me go look at this. Let me check this out. Like, I'll definitely check it out. A review of, it was. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't want to hear it's just good. Like, this is really good. I'm going to go in there. I want to read. I'm like, okay. Now I want to read this. So it's a weird thing just because I don't know. At one point, it was all I did was want to read other people's reviews and see what they said about a book. And now sometimes I'm like, I'll read a little bit of it. And I'm like, all right, that's enough that I need to read. Like, it might have been a paragraph. I was like, but that's enough that I need to read. I don't want to get too far in, just because, I mean, honestly, I spend most of my day reading.
Yeah.
So, like, it's taking away from my time of reading. So, when I'm at home, like, I try to do a little bit more on the book reviews and reading stuff. But I spend a lot of time on them, so some of that goes on the back burner also. But majority of my day, I'm either working or I'm listening with my whispersync. And so even with videos that people do, like, oh man, I want to watch that video, but I don't want to stop this book.
Yeah.
It's like I want to hear what they got to say. I'm like, all right, we'll go in here, we'll listen for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna go back to my book now. I love listening to people. Honestly, love reading their reviews. But there's also I just want to. It's weird because I just want to continue reading like constantly. Yeah. That's what I want. I just want to keep listening. Like, I'll interact on social media, but like I just want to keep listening to stuff. Like, it's pretty much an all day thing, other than once I get home, and then I'm with her cooking or doing physical therapy right now. So it's a weird thing. I don't know. I should read more reviews as a reviewer.
Oh, not necessarily.
It looks bad. It looks bad reviewer that I'm like, I don't really read other people's reviews, but read mine.
No, not necessarily, man. Not necessarily. And you're focused and you're dedicated, and so you're producing, man. And I think I have a lot of respect for people who can simply hone in and focus on the craft, whether that's regardless of what kind of creative endeavor you're doing, whether that's reviewing or reading or writing or painting, whatever. The people that are focused, man, they are the ones that put out that body of work, and you certainly have that. So kudos to you with what you're doing, man. So, quick question here. So, Lime and Legs, obvious question: favorite sci-fi series, favorite foundational series, if different from above.
What is that? Foundational series, if different from above. Yeah. Well, I have to say, Ron.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a shrine essentially of Ryan Cahill up there of the artwork. Majority of it is from the original stuff, signed, like a signed bookmark. So, like, I mean, I painted this dragon.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Like, so it's a Book Nook thing, and it comes like, I think you can either get it white or you can get it black. And then I ended up making it a kind of a pearl color, and then painting the eyes and everything to get it to look just like Valeris, and then having that, I gave it like a bluish tint. Like, you can't see it from here, but it's got a bluish tint to it. So that to me, like, if foundational, I have to say Kings of the Wild, because without Kings of the Wild, I probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah,
because it's what made me love reading. But my favorite, I mean, you and Ryan, to be honest, there is a close. It's very close, and it's funny because Ryan knows that I love him, and I love reading your books. He knows it because the year that I put you first and him second, like, oh, I cannot believe that, and I'm like, I can't just be like, I love you, so I got to put you first. Like, I love the book just a little bit more.
I'm extremely
So,
honored,
like,
sir. I'm very humbled that you say that. Ryan Cahill is an absolutely brilliant author. No, I can totally understand why he's your favorite author. That is. But even to be mentioned in the same breath with him is a huge honor. So thank you.
I'm just surprised that more people have not picked up on the series yet. Like, and a little bit of it is there's some people that are waiting for audio, and you and I have talked about it, and it's something that you plan on when you're finished with the series. But I know that like Shad, I know that he's one of them that's waiting on audio because I think he's read book 1.
Yeah.
Or listened to book 1, and he really liked it. And I was like, man, I'm trying to tell you, don't wait. Just read it. Like, just read it. You know, do what you have to do. Read it. Like, wait on this, because like it was part of me was like, oh man, like, there's not going to be an audiobook for book 2. Like, I don't know if I want to continue going. I was like, but that book 1 was really good. I was like, yeah, we're going to keep going. What I ain't going to stop. Like that was one of those. When I see a series, I see like one audiobook and the rest of them don't. I'm like, do I really want to start that? Because if I start it, then I want to listen to the audiobook throughout the whole thing. But to be honest, I'm not upset about it one bit. It's been fantastic. So I would have hated waiting until the very end to be able to listen to the rest of it. I would have hated it.
Well,
so I'm glad I got to listen.
I'm so humble, man.
Or
so humble. You've done so much to promote my work. I'm so honored and humbled that you've been willing to provide endorser quotes now for one of the books, and you know that's huge, right? So for the most recent book, Pack of Wolves, that was a huge privilege for me to have you on there as a reviewer and person I so respect. So thank you.
I'm glad it was on a Pack of Wolves. I mean, Wolfman on the back of a pack of wolves.
There you go, man. I'll never thank you so much. I'm humbled, man. I didn't know that. I'm not on TikTok, so I didn't know that you were promoting my book there. So thank you so much for. Okay. I'm so happy that you feel that way. And yeah, audio. I know audio. You know, audio, of course, is expensive to produce.
It's expensive.
You got to wait. You know, for me, my thing was always waiting till I can recoup some of those other costs. And once the series is finished, of course, then that makes it a lot easier to like think about investing in audio once those sales continue to pick up from because, you know, completed series are what really seems to get you going, right? I mean, if for a lot of authors, right? So I have people that they've bought every book in the series, but said, I'm not reading it till you finish. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, I'm trying to put out a book a year. I've been successful so far. So, you know,
like, I mean, I appreciate you buying them.
Yeah, and I do appreciate people buying very much. But like I said, and God willing, you know, as long as I'm alive and healthy, I'm definitely putting a book out every year in that series till I finish. I'm working on book 6 now, and it's a 7-book series, so I'm almost done, right?
I know, man. So, it's crazy.
So
I mean, you and Ryan pumping out books like Brandon Sanderson, man. Like, y'all pump books hard. Like, I mean, it's funny. Like, Nicholas Eames is what got me started, and he hasn't put out a book since.
Yeah. Well, of course, he's got a big name, right? He can kind of rest on his laurels a bit, I think, from some of that series. And I hear it's a fabulous series. I still haven't read it yet, but I hear it's fantastic.
If you're a music lover, that's series it right there.
Yeah.
Because book 1 is all about 70s, and then book 2 is all about 80s rock, and then book 3, whenever it comes out, it's about 90s grunge and 90s underground rap.
Oh wow!
So it's going to have it's going to be like Nirvana and DMC and all that stuff. Like, so, like and I'm fairly certain that's what's taken him so long, is just getting all that stuff like just right to fit perfectly. Because I mean that's got to be tough. One, it's tough to write a book, but you're also trying to integrate music into your book and make it make sense. So yeah, I understand that that is very, very different. And but I have made jokes in the past about how he's turning into George R. R. Martin. Because it was funny because I made a joke about it whenever 2 years passed. I was like, oh yeah, he's turning into George R. R. Martin. And I was like, I'm just kidding. But here it is, like 7 years later, and we're still waiting on book 3. And I was like, oh, I might have been joking, but I might have been kind of right here. Like, but I've obviously I know it's a joke, and it'll eventually come out. But I'm patiently waiting for that. Waiting for Evan Winter. Yeah. His. What else is there? There's a few books that I'm patiently waiting on, and I've got, so I'm not worried about it. That's kind of one thing that I've told a lot of people that are always up in arms about, like Rothfuss. I'm like, man, there's millions of books. Yeah. Like, if he doesn't, he doesn't. You read something else instead, and you might have, and now you moved on. Like, when I first read that series, I was like, dude, this is incredible. Yes. This is amazing.
It is.
And then I read other series, and I was like, wow. Well, I'm not really worried about that anymore because these are awesome. Like, you just kind of move on when you find something that's just as good. I think people, kind of get stuck on, oh, well, you hadn't put it out. And so I'm like, move on.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of books.
If it happens, it happens. Like, I found a whole lot of other books that I fell in love with because I didn't care. Like, if it came out, comes out. I don't care.
Well, we got another fan there of Eames with book 3. Waiting for that too. So,
what is it called? I forgot what it's called. Outlaw Empire. I think it's called Outlaw Empire.
Okay. So yeah. So you got definitely a fan there. What you talked about covers a bit. So when it comes to books that you want to read, what is it attracts you to read a certain book? What makes you choose to read one book over another? Like, what's the draw?
So the cover for sure is the main thing that kind of, and like, I mean, obviously, like, you got to see it, you got to fall in love with the cover. Yeah. Like, there are big covers that and it have to be broken binding special edition cover. Yeah. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like, it's just something that speaks to you. And like, honestly, Drowned Kingdom, that book, like, it's there's not a lot to it,
no,
but it spoke to me. Like, when I saw it, like, I immediately went, well, that's got some like Atlantis type to it. I'm like, I kind of dig that. Like, I know Atlantis ain't real, but I kind of dig that. And so I was like, I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna see what that is. And as I was like reading the synopsis, I was like, yeah, this is something I want to read. Like, so it's not really like the book being fancy. It's just about sure, like, the book speaks to you.
Yeah.
You know, it just like, I mean, write a book, you know, my arm can barely reach that far right now, but like, nothing like crazy special about it. But when I saw it, I was like, something about it just made me go, man, I want to read this. Yeah. I want to see what that's about. And then when I read the synopsis, I was like, yeah, I want to read that.
That's a classy cover, man. The cover is classy, man. It's classy.
It is. It's just, and I thing is, I do like simple more than I like fancy. Like, I like to collect fancy, but simple, I think, really kind of talks to me a lot more. As long as the simple is able to still tell a story of what you might expect to see. Like yours, like, it was your cover showed exactly what you would expect to see. And when you read the synopsis, you went, okay, it matches exactly what this is supposed to be. It's not like it was an extravagant cover. It just spoke to you. Like, you went in knowing that this was going to be something about some kind of, I mean, the title also, and the series name, but you really got a feel for what it was going to be. Once you get into that, I think that it's very to like to want to read something. I think a lot of the books that I pick, honestly, they're not like super fancy. They're like, I'll put them on my TBR if I see a fancy cover, but it's more of like, okay, that grabbed my attention, but what is it about? Like, is what's it about going to make me want to or not?
Yeah.
So like Masquerade by I want her name wrong. Let me. So it is Masquerade Sangayami. So it's what I'm right now.
That cover, yeah.
And it's a historical fiction. And when I started reading about like all of a sudden I just went like, that cool. So it's a West African pre-colonial story, but the author also integrated the story of Persephone into it. So not only is it Western, she also integrated Greek mythology into the story. And I was like, oh, Greek mythology?
Yeah.
We right there. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, all right, I got to read this. I got to see what this is about. And so that's one that I'm currently on right now. About like, and it wasn't any extravagant. Like it's just a picture of a woman with an elephant behind her.
Yeah.
And like just seeing that kind of hit me, and then reading what I was like, yeah, that's my thing right there. I'm gonna get on that.
Yeah. Larry Lake says, I love punctuated silhouette covers like Lacanius and Dar's War. Yeah, I saw the Dar's War cover. I thought that was really cool cover. Yeah, I thought it was a cool cover. I like that cover.
Yeah, there are some just I really don't like, and they'll make me not want to read the series. There's one that we it was a self-published, and then he got a deal and redid it with a and I hated the trad cover so much that I decided not to continue the series. Like the trad covers were so like I'm not, I can't like it. I liked book one, but I look at the new covers, I'm just like, it just turned me off. The trad cover was cool. I loved it. Or the indie cover was cool. I loved it. And then when I saw the trad, I was like,
I love what indies do with the covers, man. I love what indies do with covers.
It's amazing. They're head and shoulders over trad right now. Head and shoulders over trad.
Yeah.
Like it's not, and to me it's close. Like trad is easily above I'm sorry, I keep saying trad is above. Trad is easily below indie right now, and it's going to take a lot to catch up. And I can tell you this: they need to stop doing the of blank and blank stuff too.
Oh, that's awesome. Quickly, Lever Lake says, read Sean Lawless. I have read the first 2 books in her main series, Gale Song. I loved it. They're awesome. Have to get the 3rd book. Just haven't had time. Won't be till next year till I finish out the trilogy. But I have read the first 2 books. Really enjoyed it. It's got a novella out too, and she's an awesome person. Met her at Worldcon. She's fabulous. A really nice person. Lovely personality. So yeah, and a very, very talented writer. So yeah, great person. So yeah, Rich, like Shauna's stuff a lot.
She's on my TBR. I just haven't her yet.
Yeah, she
can't even see the tiny little audio phone. Well, see, so I every month I do the monthly releases. So all the covers that people do, like I put them into a file onto them. So like I've got stuff all the way until like March of next year of covers that have like just ready. So when I see it, we're putting that on the TBR, and then once it comes out and I'm like, I'll hear stuff about it. I'm like,
wow,
I thought that was going to be better. It's like you hear someone that you respect give it like a 3, and you're like, oh, okay, now yeah, we just move on from that. But yeah, no, the covers, the covers for audio on the phone, they are small, but because I do my whole cover the book release things, like I get to see the full covers, big ones, like I adjust them to where they'll fit on my page correctly when I post it and everything. So yeah, covers, like the physical books, majority of the time physical books are just here for show.
Yeah.
I'll buy them, ones that I've read, ones that I've loved, or sometimes I just buy one I'm interested in, and I'll buy it before I read it. That was how I looked into Ron Cahill.
Yeah.
Like I just bought it for, like, yeah, you know what? Why not? Whatever.
Yeah. No.
I do that a lot. But yeah, and the covers, man, it's honestly just, it can be simple as long as it speaks to you, as long as it speaks to me the right way. If it's something that I'm interested in and it speaks to me, like I'm ready for it, and I'll even put it, if I like the cover enough, I'll move it up on my TV over in front of a lot of other stuff and be like, oh, that cover good. Just with Masquerade, like, it came out of, I think 2 months ago. It was one that I pushed up. I was like, I'm going to get to this one. Like, I like what it's about. I'm gonna read it, and it's pretty good. I like it.
Okay, so you hear that, folks? You wanna impress WOLFMANTULA and get him to pick up your book? Make sure your covers you come correct with your covers.
I mean, hey, you got to have a nice cover. It don't have to be pretty. Don't have to have all the twirls and stuff on it. Like, it's just got to be a good cover.
Okay,
that's it. Just a good cover to make you go, I want to check that out.
All right. Okay, keep that in mind. I got to make sure I keep my cover game going then, for sure. Library Life says my favorite this year is the Viola Bacagalopi. Oh, okay. I got to check that one out. Thanks for these recs. Okay, I check that out.
Yeah. I don't think I've heard of that.
No, neither have I. So I gotta check that out. That's the beautiful thing about doing these things too. You get all kinds of great recs, man. People pop on the audience, knowledgeable readers like Librarian Legs, and it's like, yeah, okay, there you go. You get these great recs. you get these great recs. So, so now, curious. I have to ask, what's the origins of the WOLFMANTULA moniker?
All right, so that actually came from a adult softball.
Oh.
So yeah, it was we were looking for, I was trying to find a name for the back of my jersey. My brother and I, we play on the same team. So it was going to be two Delaneys, and I was like, I want something different. I just don't want that. And it was one of those things where I might have been watching something, and it mentioned the man bear pig thing, and made me laugh. And I was like, man, what would be something like a man pig? And like, I've always been a fan of the whole the whole Wolfman thing. And so I was like, I like something with a Wolfman, because my original Xbox name was Wolfenstein, with like the old video game.
Yeah.
So I was always about the wolf. Like, I always loved wolves. And so I was like, Wolfman, what would be good with a wolf? And I was like, what would be scary? And I was like, oh, what would be scary if it was like a spider? And that's when it hit me. I was like, it flowed perfect. I was a Wolfmantula, like tarantula, mantula. I was like, it's right there. So literally, it was just me trying to figure out a name to put on the back of my jersey, and a new Xbox Live handle, to where I was like, I just want to be different. I don't want to have Delaney and M. Delaney. Like, I want my own little name back there. And so that's literally where I came up with it. It had nothing crazy. It was just, I wanted something different on the back of my jersey. So literally, like, I've always been called Wheels, but I didn't Wheels back there. And I was just like, I want something different. Like, because my brother and I were both very speedy. Like, I'm not anymore, because I haven't played like 8 years. Don't run. But like, that was the whole nickname, was just Wheels. Like, me and him, we ran out speedy. And I was just like, I don't want Wheels. Like, whatever. And so every time they would call me Wheels, I'm like, Meals on Wheels. They're like, no, stop that. And eventually I came up with Mantula, and when I decided to make my website, I wasn't going to go with WOLFMANTULA. Like, that was just my Twitter name at the time. And I was like, something that's cool, that's going to say books. And then I realized, I was like, but I want to have something that's going to also be for sports stuff. Of course, now that don't matter, because I'm with someone else. But I was like, I got to have something. And then finally I was like, man, why not just use my username? Like, it's a cool name.
It's a cool name, man. It's an awesome name.
I was like, why not just use that as me? Like, so when like my friends and family, like, they're going to see that and they're going to know exactly that's me. So I was like, and I have thought about changing it at times, but I mean, I'm not going to change it anymore.
Yeah,
like I'm glued to it.
I'm glad.
Like I'm on the back of your book and I'm on the back of Ron's book. Like that was like once I got on the back of his, like it kind of ended of that whole trying to think of changing it, but it was still there in the back of my mind. I have logos that I had made for different names and stuff, and like I just had names that fit more to just books. Got with Huddle Report, and I was like, I can't do that because I'm on the back of Ryan's books. Like, if I change my name, like I just got rid of half of people that know who I am, and then new people are going to have no clue who I am. And I was like, I can't get rid of that. Like it's my name. I love it. I'll keep it. Like there's no reason to get rid of it. But it did cross my mind just because I wanted to have something that was focused on books. But eventually I was like, nah.
It's you, man.
I've built enough to where I can't. I got it me. And so I can still do stuff sports related. I can put my final on there and file it on my page, but I can't actually I do a new mock, like I can't put it on my page.
Okay.
I can put my final, can't put throughout the year. We have to do 5 or 6 throughout the year, and so those can't actually go on the page.
Oh, okay, I understand. Well, it's you, man. I personally love it. I think it's amazing. I love the name. My first choice, not that I have a save, but like, don't change it, man, because I love it. I think it's you. I think it's just absolutely awesome. So,
I appreciate it. Yeah. I love it. I really do. It's very different, and like it's a brand now. Like it's not just for my books. It's a brand. It's who I am. So my sister-in-law was supposed to make me a shirt. She just hadn't got around to it. So I was supposed to have a shirt
like
with
I said, I think
logo.
It's awesome, man. Yeah.
Hat was pushing down on my glasses. You freeze up on me? Did I mess something up? Oh. So for Sci-Fi, a series, oh man, it's actually hiding behind here, but yeah, I got to go with Rockio.
Sorry,
So
I'm just reconnecting here. I was kicked out for a second, so I apologize.
Oh, you're good, man. You're good. Yeah. Sun Eater Saga for series. That would be my go-to on that one. I don't know if you saw that.
That's awesome,
my
man.
picture bookmark.
That's awesome, man. Oh, there's Poochie. Oh, there's Poochie right there. How you doing, sweetie? How you doing? Gorgeous. So I was going to ask you. So what is it that makes you invest in a series? So because sometimes it's like, okay, you read a first book and it's great, but you're like, so many books, like you said, you want to read, and then you're just like, okay, you know what? Does it a lot of it come down to availability? For example, like we talked about, the second book's out or the third book's out, or is it because it's an audio, or what is it that makes you invest in a series?
So I'm not too worried about series is completed or not. Like that one really doesn't bother. When I first started, it did. I'll do nothing but complete series. That way I just kind of go right on through. Now it depends on, like with Robin Hobb. I read the first book of her series, and like I have the rest of the books as much, and I gave it 5 stars, but nothing made me want to go, man, I can't wait to jump into book 2 or 3 yet. Like I 5-starred book 1. I loved it, but I think right after I read that, I think I had to do an arc read for Ryan. And so once I got through with that, I was like, I really don't feel like going back to that series. So I just started going on something different. So I think there was something that happened after one that I had to do. So it had to be an arc. And after that, I just I don't know. I just never went to it. And certain series just kind of do that to me. And then sometimes there's just a series that it's not that popular, but I read the first book and I'm like, man, that was good. To the next one. Like I enjoyed that. And one that is really popular that I was the Greenbone Saga.
Yeah, amazing series. Yeah.
And so everyone has talked about it. Patrick has talked about how great it was, and I've had all 3 books on and audio, so I could whisper sync them at any time over the last 3 years, and I just didn't. Like it was just as much as I wanted to. I was just like, I'll get to it eventually, and read book 1 finally, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, why did I wait so long? I've had these for this long, and I waited until now. And like, I started reading book 1, and then I had to pause book 1, and then start fan casting every character and making a list of exactly I would put as them, because like when it comes to film, like I love Asian martial arts movies. So all of a sudden there was this book that I was reading that just right up my alley, and I was like, oh, I got this perfect guy that can fit here. And I started going through it. I put it on Twitter, and Fonda, she loved it.
Yeah.
It was a mixture of like characters from different backgrounds. It wasn't just like straight from China or straight from Japan. Like it was Hong Kong. It was people from all over. So it was perfectly her in her story. And I was like, dude, this is like. And then once I had all that casted out, I was like, okay, now let's get into this, because now I can focus on exactly who this person is. I can see them now, and like I can get like that sometimes, but I don't really do it a lot. But for some reason, just because it was very Asian based, and I already had like these Asian actors from martial arts films that I loved watching, I was like, I got some guys that can fit into here, and so I just went crazy on it. Like I was like, I got it. And then after someone died, like I'd mark them dead at the bottom. Like, oh my god, like it's such a good series. Like my brother read the first book, I think about 2 years ago, and he was like, yeah, it was good. It was just kind of slow, and I don't know if I'd read book 2. It kind of made me kind of pull back on it a little bit. But once I finally got into it, I was like, man, like Alan, I don't know what you're like. This is good. Like it's kind of slow, but at the same time, like stuff happens and it's crazy. Like this is right up your alley, man. Like this is stuff that we like to watch. And so I was like, that one was it hit me. There have been other series that have done it. That's another one, like Hyperion. So I read Hyperion. I was like, man, book 1 was amazing. And a part of me was like, I almost like, do I want to read book 2?
Yeah.
And then once I got into book 2, like I didn't like book 2 that much. I didn't like how it changed the character views. Like it went from multi POV to single V, and I was like, like that's jarring. Yeah. And then because I did audio in book 1, they had 4 narrators. In book 2, they had 1, and you got used to hearing all these different characters with different voices, and all of a sudden you have to hear every single one of them with just voice. Yeah. And it just is very, very jarring to go from that. And I was just, I probably should have waited to read book 2. Made me not even want to read the rest of them, like 3 or 4. And I was just like, because I think book 5, Hyperion, I gave a 5 stars, and then Fall of Hyperion, I gave like 3.5. And at that point, I don't even know if I want to continue this or not. Like it's not the same. Like book 1 was completely book 2, and that just probably means that book 3 and 4 are probably going to be more like book 2. And I was like, we'll move on. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's difficult to, because like I'm excited to jump into stuff, but when it comes to sometimes the series hits you just right to make you want to jump into the next one, and even if you give it 5 stars, like, and you're like, I don't know if I want to read the next one.
Yeah,
like the whole Robin Hobb situation. Like, I loved book 1, but I was like, yeah, I'm not missing not reading book 2. Like, I know people are like, man, I can't believe that you have not finished like at least that first trilogy. And I'm like, like I liked book 1, but there was it didn't make me want to go, man, I cannot wait to get into book 2. Like, I got to push everything out the way for this. Like, I've read books where, I knew a book wasn't going to come out for a couple. I read it and I was like, dude, I cannot wait for this. And then I've had series that I've purchased the entire like 4 or 5 books, and I read book 1. I'm like, we'll just move on. Like, it was good. Nothing great. Nothing that I was excited to get to the next book. What would happen? It just, I don't know. I guess it really just depends how the story goes or how much I like the characters. If you really like the characters, like it's just gonna hit right, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of difficult to explain.
No, I totally understand. No, you're doing a great job explaining. No, I totally get it. Sometimes it just, a certain series just strikes you. Like, I have series 2 where, I don't know, I have series 2 where I can't wait to get back to a certain series, but I haven't got to it yet. Just things happen, priorities, like R. Scott Baker. R. Scott Baker. I love his work blew me away. And it's dark and it's kind of depressing, but I'm in love with the writing and the story. I'm just captivated, but I haven't gone back to it. I'm going to get back to it next year for sure. But I just haven't gone to it. And I think it's going to be an all-time favorite series. Maybe it's part of me is just trying to hold off and just give myself something really, really that I'm anticipating, looking forward to reading next year. But no, I totally get it. Sometimes it's just like that, right? So
it really is. It's like with Greenbone Saga, pushing it off for years, and then finally reading it and going, yeah, we're booked. Like, I ain't even waiting. Like, I think I wasn't fully done with my review on book 1, and I jumped into book 2. I was like, I don't even care. I got notes here. I can follow them. I'm reading this. Like, I'm not stopping. So that's how I wanted to read it, because I was like, this is just good. Like, I'm stopping.
Yeah.
And typically, like, I typically review done within the day, sometimes 2 days. Here lately, just with everything going on, like, it take a little bit longer now. But typically, like, with how much I have, I can pretty much go over my notes and move them around into the right spots, and build on to what I have, and pretty much have it done in a day or 2.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just because I take notes while I'm reading, so it helps me get where I'm going, because then I can go back to my other notes and go, what happened over here? I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. Yeah, okay, I remember that. And I started going into it. So like it definitely helps me. And it's just I know some series are like it, some are not. Like Ryan and yours too. Like when books come out, like TV, like there's and I'm not saying just because I'm on your show on channel, but like you and Ryan, when arcs come out, TBR gets pushed back. Like I don't care. I know I've got a time frame, and I'm like, all right, well, I know it's going to come out in a week. I'm not finished that book in a week, so we're not going to read anything because I'm not starting something and not finishing it because I'm definitely going to be reading. So I was like, that's how I do it with you and Ryan is whatever's coming up. I'm like, yeah, all right. I was like, oh, you asked me to read your book? Yeah, I know, but the priority.
Wow.
I just like I think I even have that on my website that there are certain books that have priorities and they'll get bumped up no matter what.
Well, I'm extremely honored to make that very short list with one of the biggest fantasy authors out there right now, traditionally or indie published, Ryan Chaos. So he's I'm very humbled that you'd say that, man. So, but I have to get the rest of Ryan's series again. One of those was like really love book one, anxious to get to the rest, but I think too like I definitely want to get buy the whole series. That's one of those series I think deserves a binge. Like there's certain series too that I like that deserves a binge. So I'll probably buy the whole thing when it's done. Do a reread. I read the book one. I read the novel The Fall. Loved them both. So I'll probably do a whole just buy all the books at once and then just plow through it because I think that series is built for a reread. Sorry, for a binge read. So
yeah. So I'm not a huge fan of rereads, just because if I reread, then that means I'm taking time away from not reading something new. But this year, I have gone on a big rereading craze. It's like I think I've read like close to 40 books right now,
wow.
And over half of them are rereads.
Wow.
And it's just like a lot of them were from before I did reviews, or it was early in my reviewing stage, so I wanted to read it again and give it a proper review. The other one's Ryan Cahill. When the newest book came out, I was like, I need to like, even though I have all these notes that are very extensive, like I need to like get this story fresh in my brain. So when I'm reading this arc, everything that's going on and what led up to it. So I did a full reread everything up until the last book, just so everything was fresh. And that was the first time I did a reread. And at that point, that's when I realized, okay, I get why people reread their favorite series because it hits when it's that it hits, and you're like, I gotta reread this one again. So and I did the reread with audio, and just because I'd already read so like a lot of this stuff isn't. And this is something that I did notice that since I've already read the book, as I listen to the audio, I can still pay attention and know what's going on because I've already got a lot of the information stored, so it's not bothering me in it, and so I was able to actually enjoy it like so much, just being able to go back and listen to it all, and just like I was like, God, I cannot believe this happened. Like, how did I forget about that? Or leading up to in the book when you read it and you find something out in that book, you're like, oh, I remember part, and he teased it then. Like in book one, he teased it then, and all of a sudden now it's happening. So like, it's.
Yeah, I think that's the benefit, especially with series rereads, when you get those Easter eggs that maybe you never picked up on. You're like, oh man, that was foreshadowed in book one. Like I love. That's one thing I love about rereads, and I don't reread a lot of books, only certain series. My favorite authors, the Bernard Cornwells, the John Gwynns, the Janie Wertz, etc. So
I'm still upset that I missed the live the other day because I was like, man, when I looked at, I was like, oh, it must be 5 o'clock my time. And so I got on there and I was like, oh, it was not fun.
The live with Philip Chase. We're doing Warlord Chronicles. Yeah. Philip's reading for the first.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, Philip Chase, that awesome book tour right now. There is an amazing book tour, brilliant, and what a wonderful human being. He's reading Warlord Chronicles by Bernard Cornwell for the first time. I am a lover of that series. I've reread it dozens of times. So we're doing it together. I'm rereading with him. It's nice to see him experience the series and fall in love with it. I think so. It's a lot of fun doing that with him.
Yeah, that was. I was sad that I didn't get to see that live just because I wanted to chime in with some stuff, but it was knowing that he was reading it and knowing how much you loved it and y'all were reading it together. I was just like, he just doesn't understand how he's got
yeah.
Like he is going to love this series.
Yeah. It's one,
like it's easily historic when it comes to historical fiction. It's easily the number one for me right now.
Yeah. It's one. It's one of my favorite series of all time. Definitely. Library Lake says Brent Weeks. Library Saga is my current obsession. I haven't actually read Brent.
I haven't either.
I should definitely. It's on my TBR, but I should get to that at some point. Now, Larry says, should I go with Kale? Book one, was it fun? But I didn't go on. Well, let's hear from a Kale expert like
I'll
Michael,
say this.
Who's read the whole series.
A lot of people on book one, they feel like it's a little bit amateurish. And obviously it's his first go. And I'll say this. Book one is where he kind of used other books as a ground on where to go. Book two is where so once he found his voice is when his story took off and he realized how good of a writer he actually was, and he was able to tell completely different. So like in book one was His Majesty's Dragon is what he got inspiration from, and then John Gwynne, The Faithful and the Fallen. So those are two of the inspirations for book one. His Majesty's Dragon is what most people confuse with Aragon. And so, but that's what everyone knows. That's what I thought too. I was like, oh, it's like Aragon. And from interviews that he did, he was like, everyone says Aragon, but it was actually His Majesty's Dragon where he got the inspiration from. So book one was very much those, and along with Lord of the Rings. So you kind of had just kind of like a mixture of that, and then he threw in a lot of Greek and Norse stuff in there to go with it. So you had like kind of an amalgamation of things in the story, and so a lot of people, they were like, book one was just kind of good. Like, I mean, it was his first go. Like, it's the first thing he's ever written. So as for someone that is the first thing ever written, I thought it was pretty awesome. And book two's like everything after that is just he learned how to craft, and it's been better and better and better and better. And then through each book, like book two is I'm talking littered with pop culture references. There's I think he said there's about 20 pop culture references in there. Like there's Terminator, there's Skyrim, like there's all kinds of stuff in there. And it's funny because if you go and read and you go into realizing that there's stuff in there, you'll start catching it, and you're like, oh my god, that's right there. Like I get it. And a lot of that stuff I was catching. I was like, hey man, is that this? He goes, that's one of them. I'm like, okay. And then I find when he goes, no, you're reaching. I'm just trying. Like I reached more than I found. There were some where I was like, oh, this is like this. Is that what this was? It's like, no. I tried.
That's awesome. Well, I can tell you, it's actually funny. Cena, she switched back to Cena now from Library Laser. Says, the fall. I'm a huge Pern fan. All dragons are compared to McCaffrey. I have to say, actually, for me, my experience, and I can say this as well, Michael, that The Fall is actually my favorite book from him so far. Book one was good, but I absolutely like The Fall. That's one of the best novellas I've ever read. I thought it was amazing. So, and I think, Cena, if you like dragons, That's your novella, The Fall. You read that.
Yeah,
You will.
The Fall is incredible. I mean, a blood at me, but when I read A Blood and Fire first because I had no clue about The Fall. So a lot of people argue about reading orders, and I was like, man, whatever. Like, if you want to read The Fall first, read The Fall first. Yeah. If you want to read A Blood and Fire first, read A Blood and Fire first. It don't matter. Though they're either or. Now after that, there's an order.
Yes.
Now you got to read 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. Book 1 and The Fall, it's basically book 1 and 1.5, or book half and book 1. Whichever way you want to look at it, it doesn't matter. One set way in the future that builds on everything. So what's happening now, and then go and see what led up to the beginning. You can do it that way, or you can read, and then now you can read what it's leading up to. So you can read it in any order. I read it, A Blood and Fire. If you do audio, then you're going to do A Blood and Fire, and then The Fall, because The Fall is at the end, Blood and Fire.
Okay.
So if you're going to do audio, then you're automatically doing it one way.
Okay.
Perkins, by the way, is phenomenal narrator. Like he has done a really good job of that series. Like he if anyone is a audio, that's the one you need to pay attention to, because he does a phenomenal job.
Okay. All right. Oh, put it back on TBR. Well, listen, I have to. My battery, unfortunately, is dying because it's power failure. We got some backup lighting going right now, but I just wanted to thank you so much for coming on. Wolfmantula, actually see if I can find that. I'm looking for that spare plug to kind of give me a little temporary boost. So yeah, if you can let us know, my wonderful guest, where to find you, your website, social media, all that's fine stuff, so that people can check out your reviews and all of that.
All right. Well, it's very simple. I am Wolfmantula everywhere. I'm on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram. It's my YouTube channel is Wolfmantula. Basically, if you go on any social media and look up Wolfman, you're probably going to find me. So that's about as simple as it gets. If you want to look up my sports stuff, then it's at the Huddle Report. I do dedicated to mock drafts on my site, and it's just the history of every year, my final mock. So if you want to look at that, I keep a little picture up there to show how I've done over the last 5 years and where I rank. Next year will be the first year that I'm 5 years at the Huddle Report. And I will be on their actual top scores list. So like I'm on the top scores list, but the way that they do it, that has a 0, so it adds a 0. So I'm lower on the list. But once I get that 5th year grade up there, like you'll probably see me in the top 15.
Wow. Congratulations, man. That's absolutely amazing. So I can say you are an incredible reviewer. Again, one of my favorites, and a lot of people's favorites in the space that I occupy. Thank you so much for all you do and all you've done for me personally, supporting my series and being absolutely awesome.
Absolutely.
Check out Wolfmantula, some awesome reviews. And if you like fantasy sports, again, another great site. I want to thank you, the wonderful Cinepalm / Legends Library on Lakes, and for coming out and supporting anybody who, and also anyone who will watch this on the replay. You're what makes this type of long form.
Absolutely
Awesome. Quickly for me, it's P.L. Stewart, John King of Saga, the website, plstewart.com. 5 books out now, the John King Saga. Book 6, A Black Dragon on Red, coming in the spring of 2026. And of course, one of the first people to get an arc of that book sometime in the fall is going to be my man right here, Wolfmantula. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping he likes it. It's going to be a wild ride.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
For reviews, Before We Go Blog, I'm assistant editor, led by the wonderful Beth Tabler. Shout out to Before We Go Blog and crew. Of course, on Goodreads. And you can see my interviews with wonderful guests such as Michael on Six Elementals, and also beside my good friend and colleague Taylor from Maybe to the Pages. Awesome booktuber herself. Check out her stuff. So once again, thanks so much for the amazing WOLFMANTULA for coming by. This has been fabulous.
Thank you.
To get to chat to him, to get to know him better. Highlighted my week. So happy. Thank you so much, Michael. Hope you do me the honor of coming back in the future and we can chat some more.
Absolutely. 100%.
Thank you so much, my friend. So for